The mind is a powerful force. It is often said that it is the most significant aspect of our experience because it shapes the way we perceive the world around us. The mind is not something external but something that is within us, and yet it can take us to places far beyond our immediate surroundings into realms of thought and imagination. However, if we truly examine the nature of the mind, we begin to see that it is not a stable entity. It is in fact like a river constantly moving, shifting and flowing. At any given moment, there are numerous thoughts, ideas, memories and desires flowing through it, pulling us in different directions. The mind is rarely still. It often functions like a busy marketplace, where thoughts are constantly being exchanged. These thoughts create a pattern of mental activity that seems to run endlessly. Now, when times are easy, the mind can be relatively calm. It can operate in a more controlled manner, and it is easier to be present. But in moments of challenge, when life presents its difficulties, the mind can become a turbulent storm, clouded by fear, worry and anxiety. The thoughts begin to spiral and you feel as though you are being swept away by them. This is the true nature of the mind. It is not a stable, solid entity, but rather a constant flow of energy. The problem, however, arises when we identify ourselves with the thoughts that pass through it. We begin to believe that we are our thoughts, that the anxiety, the fear, the worry, and even the joy and excitement are who we are. This identification leads to a sense of disconnection from the present moment. When we become entangled in the thought patterns of the mind, we are no longer fully aware of what is happening around us. We are no longer present. But what if we could step back and observe the flow of thoughts without getting caught in them? This is where true power lies, in the ability to witness the mind without becoming a participant in its chaos. Imagine standing by the side of a river, watching it flow, knowing that it is moving but remaining unaffected by its currents. The water may be rushing, but you are steady, rooted in place. You understand that the river will continue to flow, but you do not allow it to pull you under. In the same way, the mind will always be filled with thoughts, but you do not have to be swept away by them. The first step in remaining present is to understand that the mind is not a permanent fixture, it is a passing wave. When you recognize that your thoughts are just fleeting, you stop identifying with them. The fear that may arise in your mind during challenging times is not you. The worry is not you. These are just thoughts passing through, and they will eventually pass. When you are able to view the mind as a river flowing but not holding on to the thoughts, you regain a sense of clarity. You are no longer a victim of the mental noise that surrounds you. You become the observer, the one who watches without judgment. And in this stillness, the present moment reveals itself to you, free from the distortions of past regrets or future anxieties. In moments of difficulty, the mind may try to create more stories of what could have been or what may be. But to remain anchored, to stay present, requires stepping outside of these stories and returning to the simplicity of the now. The mind, in all its complexity, can either be your greatest ally or your greatest enemy, depending on whether you choose to control it or be controlled by it. The choice is yours. In essence, the nature of the mind is like the weather, sometimes clear, sometimes stormy, but always changing. The key is not to be attached to any one state, whether it is peaceful or tumultuous. The more you recognize this, the more easily you can detach from the mental noise that comes with challenging times. You can simply let it pass by, knowing that what you are is far greater than any thought that arises. And in that realization, you find the power to remain present no matter what life brings.